Hey guys, it's Mrs. Bryant. Welcome back to Flip Classroom. Before we begin today, I need you to make sure that you have the pink foldable booklet that I gave you in class today, as well as your ISN or some paper for notes for examples that won't fit on the foldable. You need to press pause until you have all of that ready, and then you can hit play when you're ready to resume. So, Part 1 says, expand each expression, then simplify and rewrite as a single exponential expression in simplest form. Before we do that, we need to know that f is the base and the 6 is the exponent. Same thing with y, d, and x. Okay, so to expand it, you're going to have f times f times f times f times f times f times, and then 5 more for the next one. Okay, so in order to simplify it, all you have to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So really we have f to the 11th power. So let's do the next one. We have y times y times y times y times y times y, 2, 4, 6 times y, and then 2 more times y times y. So what is our total? 8 and 2 would be y to the 10th. Let's do the next one. D times d times d, there's d to the 3rd, times another d. So simplified, we have d to the 4th power. Now let's do the last one. We have x times x, that took care of that one, times x times x times x. That took care of that one. Times 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you can combine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. X to the 9th. Make sure you press pause if you didn't write it as fast as I did, and make sure you have it copied down. Okay, so if you flip to the back page of part 1, you'll see 3 questions. Do you notice a pattern? Find the relationship between the exponents in the original expression and the exponent in your final simplified expression for each of these examples. Write your observation. Well, since we're not doing this in class and we can't discuss it, the observation you should have made is when multiplying exponents, add the exponents together and put on the base. Press pause so you can finish writing that. So it says write this observation using a general format with variables so that it will work when any number value replaces each of your variables. So when you have the same base and you have 2 different numbers of exponents, what you're really doing is a m plus n. And that will work every time you need to multiply exponents. I will check this part in class tomorrow, so make sure you are coming up with one more example and then expanding it and seeing if your simplified holds, or if your observation holds true. And then answer, do you think this pattern will always apply? So here's where you need to take some notes. So it says apply this exponent law from part 1 to the following problem. We know that it's a m plus n. So 2 plus 4 equals 3 to the 6th power. Apply the exponent law from part 1 to the following problem. Well, 4 and 9 can be distributed, so that's 36. And then 3 plus 2, because those are the exponents on your base. So you get 36x to the 5th power. Next example, apply the exponent law from part 1 to the following problem. We know that 9 and 5 can be distributed, so you have 45w, 7 plus 8. So your answer is 45w to the 15th. Now turn back to your foldable book. Expand each expression, then simplify and rewrite as a single exponential expression. So, it's going to look like this. M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, M. And you know they're being multiplied. I always go back and put my multiplication after. Divided by M. What do we know about dividing when you have the same number on top and the bottom? We know that they cancel, so that M cancels that M. This M cancels this M. So what are we left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. M to the 5th power. Let's do the next one. K times K times K times K times K times K. 2, 4, 6 times K times K. And I'm going to go over to the next one a little bit. All divided by 3 Ks. K times K times K. Again, we know that if you are dividing with the same thing on top and bottom, they cancel. So you would cancel 3. And you are left with K to the 6th power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next example would be B times B times B divided by B times B. Those cancel, so you're left with B to the 1 power. Lastly, we have W times 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 2, 4, 6, 7 W times W. All divided by W times W times W times W. Those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, and those cancel. And you're left with W to the 5th power. Make sure you press pause if you weren't able to keep up with that. And then switch to the back. And when you're ready, press play. Okay, so it says, do you notice a pattern? Find the relationship between the exponents in the original expression and the exponent in your final simplified expression for each of these examples. Write your observation. So your observations should say, let me see, okay. When dividing exponents, see how I worded it, subtract the exponents and place on base. So to use our observation, we're going to write a general format that will be used for every time you need to divide exponents. We know that it's A, M minus, not 7, I'm sorry guys, M minus N. And if you use that every time, you will get the right answer. So now get out your notes. Apply the exponent law. So we have A, M minus N to the following problems. So our answer would be 9 is your base. 7 minus 5 is 9 to the 2nd power. Next example. Apply the exponent. Hold on just a second. I think I messed up on number 9. Okay, I didn't mess up on this example. We need to go ahead and simplify that. 9 squared equals 81. Now we can go to the next example. Apply the exponent law from part 2 to the following problem. Well, 16 divided by 8 would be 2. M, 11 minus 2, so our answer is 2m to the 9th power. Apply the exponent law from part 2 to the following problem. Well, 12 divided by 20 doesn't work, but we can simplify that fraction. A 4 can go into both, so we're going to divide by 4. So we're going to have 3 over 5 W, 13 minus 9, so that equals 3/5 W to the 4th power, or 3W to the 4th divided by 5. Both of those are acceptable answers. Here's another example. Apply the exponent law from part 2 to the following problem. Well, we know that negative 28 can be divided by 7. So I'm going to write it down here because I write real big. It's negative 4 F 8 minus 5 G 19 minus 12 equals negative 4 F to the 3rd G to the 7th. There is your answer. Apply the exponent law from part 2 to the following problem. Again, 4 and 18 won't work, but you can find a common factor, and that is 2. So you're going to have 2 over 9 n 10 minus 3 p 5 minus 2, so that's going to equal 2/9 n to the 7th p to the 3rd, or 2 n to the 7th p to the 3rd, all divided by 9. Either one of those are acceptable answers. All right, go to part 3. Expand each expression, then simplify and rewrite as a simple exponential expression in simplest form. P times P times P times P divided by P times P times P times P and we are going to cancel all those out. So we are left with P to the 0 or 1. When you have a base to the 0 power, it's always going to equal 1. So C times C times C times C times C times C divided by C times C times C times C times C times C. Those will all cancel. So you have C to the 0 power or 1. I'm not going to expand that all out, but you are going to get Z to the 0 power, so that equals 1. X times X divided by X times X. So you're left with X to the 0 power or 1. Go to the back of those examples and let's answer the questions. So how can the formula from part 2 be applied to these problems? Well, subtract the exponents. What conclusion can you make about any variable raised to the 0 power? It will always equal 1. Write this observation using a general format. Well, a m minus m equals a to the 0, so our answer is 1. Again, you're going to come up with your example, and I will check it in class tomorrow. Now, let's do our examples. 15 to the 3rd, 15 to the 3rd is going to equal 15 to the 0 power, or 1. 36d to the 12, d divided by 6d to the 12. Well, these will cancel, or these will divide, so you have 6d to the 0 equals 6 times 1, so that equals 6. All right, so we are going to do part 4, 5, and 6 in a video tomorrow, so make sure you keep up with your thing, your foldable. Make sure you bring it to class tomorrow so we can practice these 3 parts in class tomorrow. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the comments, and make sure that you always pause if you don't keep up, because I went really fast. I will see you tomorrow in class. Bye.